This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com. We are beast.
Yo, what's up guys, it's me Lee, and welcome to day 53 of the 2017-2018 NBA season. You guys know the drill. We got a few things to talk about today, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Lego. Got a little bit of possibly good news on the Markelle Fultz front. Kinda. Yesterday, Brian Colangelo came out and said that the soreness is completely gone from Markelle Fultz's shoulder, as well as the muscle imbalance that they diagnosed him with is gone too, which sounds good, but then he also wanted to say that there is still no timetable for the return of Markelle Fultz, but, quote, the end is near. Right off the bat, I don't believe this one bit. Why should I? Why should anyone? Everything that Brian Colangelo has said ever since he became the Sixers GM has been a flat out lie, especially when it comes to the health of his players. I'll believe it when I see it, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not gonna get into this whole what's actually wrong with Markelle Fultz thing. Been there, done that a lot. Made multiple videos talking about this. Who knows when or even if Markelle Fultz is really going to return this year. I know they're still trying to fix his shot or whatever they're actually doing, but this just has to be one of the strangest, most bizarre injuries that I have ever seen, since no one really knows what the heck, if anything, is actually wrong. Low-key, like, this is honestly a serious question now. If you were the Indiana Pacers, who would you rather have, Victor Oladipo or Paul George? That's honestly a legit question. If you had to pick a player to stay on your team forever, who would you pick, Victor Oladipo or Paul George? Last year, if you would have asked this question, you would have had your basketball talking privileges card revoked. It would have been one of the dumbest questions you could ask. No one in their right mind would have taken Victor Oladipo over Paul George. That was why when the Thunder traded for Paul George, everyone was like, oh, the Pacers got robbed. They give up Paul George for Victor Oladipo. I'm not even gonna lie, I was one of those people saying that too. I thought the Thunder finessed, but now it's starting to look like the Indiana Pacers might have been the finessers and the Thunder were the finessed. The Pacers managed to get Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis for Paul George, a player that was about to leave for nothing after this season. And not only did they get those players, but they got better as a team too. This Oladipo-led Pacers team so far is much better than the Paul George-led Pacers team from last year. The Pacers put an end to the 13-game winning streak of LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers yesterday. And of course, Victor Oladipo was a huge reason as to why they were able to do that. Man had 33 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists on the night, and on the year he's putting up 24 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 block, and just under 2 steals per game, shooting the ball 48% from the field and 44% from deep. The breakout star that no one saw coming. This Indiana team was supposed to be garbage this year, maybe get 30 to 35 win and finish like 11 or 12th in the Eastern Conference, but now they look like they are a lock to make the playoffs and might even put up a fight for like the 4th seed. The team and Victor Oladipo are really good. The only thing I find curious about this team and kind of question is the whole Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis dilemma. Both of them are young, promising big men who each have a different set of strengths. Sabonis is a better cutter to the rim, better passer, and better rebounder, but Turner is a better shot blocker and has more range on the offensive end. When Turner was out to start the season, Domantas Sabonis was playing really freaking good. Now Turner is back, and since they're both centers, they don't get to share the court that much. They'd just be too big and too slow for the NBA today with that lineup for extended periods of time. But it's like, which one do you have to go with long term? Sabonis is nice to have as a backup right now, but he is too good and too promising a player to keep this role forever. He deserves way more than just 20 minutes a night. Let's talk about another young NBA star who almost no one talks about, Khris Middleton. I once called him a discounted version of Kevin Durant on the offensive end. No disrespect, and I still stand by those words. I think he is a discounted version of Kevin Durant on the offensive end. But when I say discounted, I'd say that it's only a 20% discount. And any player that's only a 20% discount off Kevin Durant, any player that is 80% as good as Kevin Durant is at scoring the ball, is a really freaking good player. Khris Middleton is a really freaking good player, and without him, the Bucks would be in a lot of trouble. With all the Giannis craze, that is going on right now. Not enough people understand just how important Middleton is to this team. Not only does he provide the team with a constant offensive threat from anywhere on the court, by far their best offensive threat from anywhere on the court, but when Giannis checks out of the game, Middleton is always in the game. And then the offense flows through him. That's when he gets bucket, and it's not just that he gets buckets, he is an underrated playmaker as well. He can drop dimes. He's averaging 4 assists per game on the year, and has had plenty of games so far where he went out, got 7, 8, or 9 assists on top of scoring the ball. He got out to a really slow shooting the ball this year, but after the first 10 or so games, his shot has been pretty much automatic. He dropped 31 last night in the Bucks' 109-102 win over Dallas. 10 of 18 shooting from the field and 5 of 8 from deep. Look, if your team is playing against Milwaukee and he shoots the ball, he's one of those players where you just expect the shot to go in. Just a couple of days ago, when my Pistons lost to the Bucks, every single time Middleton shot the ball, I would get upset because I already knew it was going in. I feel the same way when he shoots the ball as when like KD or Steph shoots the ball. You feel really lucky if they miss. You already knew this was going to be a great game. Two of the best coached, most fluid offensive teams in the game going up against each other, and they both deserved to win last night with how great they were playing, but that's just not how the NBA works. Kyrie Irving was doing everything he could to make sure the Celtics got the win. He was automatic, almost all night long with 36 points, and Aldridge was having his way with Boston's front line as he dropped 27. And as all great games should, this one went down to the wire. 15 seconds to go, game squared up at 102 apiece. Spurs get the ball into the hands of the crunch time proven Manu Ginobili, and he does it again. At 40 years old, Ginobili sank the high arcing dagger over Horford to give the Spurs the lead with 5 seconds left. Ginobili ain't the only clutch player though. Kyrie Irving is a thing. He has hit a few big shots of his own, and he had a chance to do it again last night. Stevens drew up a great play. Irving and the Celtics executed it well, and the shot was halfway down before rimming out. That's tough. Make that 5 losses in a row for the Pistons. The Warriors, of course, still without Stephen Curry, but they did have Draymond Green back this time, and the Warriors defense was just on another level last night. Every time the Pistons tried to attack the rim, they got blocked. Golden State had 15 blocks on the night. Draymond Green was responsible for 6 of them, and KD for another 5. One of them a clutch block on a jump shooting Anthony Tolliver that led to a breakaway dunk. That was a huge momentum shifter of the game. But besides that, the Pistons still had a chance down the wire. After a couple of huge shots from Avery Bradley, as well as stealing the ball from KD, they had a shot to win it. Reggie Jackson took it. I would have liked to have seen Avery Bradley take the last shot of the Pistons to either tie the game or get the win, since he had been making clutch shot after clutch shot up until that point. But Reggie Jackson decided to drive to the basket, hoping to draw a foul or something. I guess didn't happen. And yeah, the Warriors won. KD with 36 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and those 5 blocks, while Avery Bradley had 25 for Detroit. Toronto had to work for this win. They were down 17 in the first half, but still managed to come back and claim the 116-107 win behind their fourth quarter efforts when they outscored Memphis 24-14. Memphis was on fire in the first quarter though. They shot 74% in that quarter. But when that kind of thing happens, you just have to realize that there is no way that that team can keep shooting as well as they've been shooting for a full 48 minutes. Just try to weather the storm, keep playing your game, and not let the lead get too big, so when they cool off, you can make a run of your own. Pretty much what Toronto did last night. Ibaka matched his previous season high with 21, while DeRozan was the high man for Toronto with 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Where I'm from, bullies get bullied. That's what Zach Randolph told DeMarcus Cousins last night, right before he and the Kings shocked New Orleans by getting the 116-109 overtime win. Anthony Davis was playing in everything, yet the Kings still won. And who would have thought that in 2017, with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins both on the court, that the best big man in a game would be a 36-year-old Zach Randolph. Bullies get bullied, and Randolph was bullying Cousins all night long. 35 points and 13 rebounds for Zebo hit 5 of his 9 triple attempts. Cousins did try his best though with 38 points on the night, but there was no stopping Randolph yesterday. He was on a mission. Another overtime game, the Bulls versus the Hornets. Lauri Markkanen and Kris Dunn versus Kemba Walker and Dwight Howard. And Howard was an absolute monster last night. 25 points, 20 rebounds, and 6 blocks. That's the old D12 right there. But despite him having what was probably his best game in years, the Hornets still lost 119 to 111. Kris Dunn continues to improve on the year. I think he's gaining more and more confidence after every single game, which is for sure going a long way. He had 20 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals on the night, while Markkanen also played well with 24 points and 12 rebounds. The Bulls, they're watchable, and they'll be even more watchable when Zach LaVine returns. That's not good. The Magic were already struggling enough. Now they're gonna have an even harder time trying to win games over the next few games, as one of their best players in Aaron Gordon went down with a concussion in the third quarter, and Denver used that, as well as terrific play for the bench last night, to get the 103-89 win. Denver's bench combined for 53 points in this game. Kenneth Faried with 20 of those points, while Emmanuel Mudiay had 18. That wraps up all the action from last night, though. You guys can go vote for the player of the day by going to the community section of my channel. Just remember that only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, you guys selected Lonzo Ball and his 10 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 4 blocks as your player of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel for more daily NBA news and highlights. But until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!